The Aussies had the privilege of kicking off the weekend's racing at the Clipsal 500 weekend, with last year's series champ qualifying on pole.
Clues didn't get the jump. It's Peter Carr through turn one, gets it all sideways, heading up to turn three. This is where it gets very nervous.
Yeah, up into turn four here, hard on the brakes, on the bumps. Pretty tricky corner early in the weekend, and they all seem to be getting through there nicely. Oh, that was close, but they all slot in.
By the last lap, Clues had worked his way back into the lead, but that is no guarantee of a win in this category.
And this is where I think Kamal's going to attack straight up into four, hard on the brakes, on the bumps. Does he get it pulled up? It's going to be tight.
Oh, Clues gives him a little bit of a tap. That's handed the lead to Kamal, but there's plenty left in this lap. On the approach to turn 8, Clues, he fans to the left. Kamal holds the inside line on the fastest part of the circuit, Nick.
Unbelievable. They've just gone too wide through there sideways, and they haven't even rubbed the door yet. So this is unbelievable racing. And we might even get 4 wide up into 9. Clues squirming under brakes, and he turns it in Kamal.
Well, there was double yellows there, so there wasn't going to be a pass. Clues has held the lead. Let's see what he can do in the final sequence of corners. He's held the margin. He comes back onto the straight now. The 2010 champion is going to put the first mark on the board for 2011. Kyle Clues takes the win. Paul Kamal, after a couple of years away, is strong second, and last year's rookie Tyler Owen a fast finishing third. But it was the 2010 champion who had it all his way in race 1.
It's just all about gaining points, and that's what we've done then. And you know, we're just ticking away at it and trying to build up more points, and that's what we're going to do for the rest of the weekend.
Race 2 kicked off the next day, with many expecting a much more intense battle as grip levels grew over the weekend.
Kyle Clues, a much better start than race 1. Kamal gets pushed a little bit out into the dirt. That's allowed Maurice Massini to come up the inside and have a look. Kamal's teammate Sheridan Phillips there in 4th. Oh, and dive bombs Massini into 4th. What a move!
And Cottrell's come right around the outside of a few cars in a 4 here, around Owen, and he's going to have a look at Ward into 5. And here he goes. He's got the job done. He's going to have a bit of a rub on the exit, and they've pressed on nicely, and Owen's having a go at Ward now. Ward defends him and puts it up on 2 wheels on the exit. Bit of fun, and presses on.
Tight stuff in the freight train to turn 8 now.
When the lead cars began to break away, the battle for third started to heat up.
Smith gets a great run on Tyler Owen, gets the pass made under brakes down into turn 9. Massini gets a tap as well from Smith. He's aggressive. This is great racing down to turn 10.
And this is where we see 6 cars all going for the same bit of track, and Owen is all over the back of Smith and is pushing him out of turn 11 virtually, and I think we'll see him vary his line through 12 and rocket it up the inside into the final corner. He's actually lost a little bit of room there, and Smith is up the inside of Massini. Can Owen follow him in? He's on the throttle and just bogs it on the exit.
That's going to ruin his run onto the main straight. Here's your control category, folks. Have a look at how tight they are. Kamal now takes a look at Owen as well. Pops out of the draft. What can he do down into turn 1? Can he get the job done? Great pass. Smith bounces it over the ripple strips. What action from the Aussie cars.
And now we've got Tyler Owen having to defend James Ward. We're on board with him now, and he's going to get up the inside of Tyler quite easily, and hopefully the other FW1 car doesn't follow him through. Tyler just needs to put the elbows up a bit and start attacking rather than looking in the mirrors.
The 2010 rookie still getting taught a couple of lessons. Up to turn 7 now. He's still in the FW1 sandwich. Owen on the approach to turn 8. He's got Chamberlain right behind him. Ludby's joining in the fight as well. Ludby makes the move on Chamberlain. But look at Owen. He's locked up the rears, Nick. He's going to go in very late. And Ludby, right into the side of Owen.
Owen just has not had a good lap. He's lost a stack of positions and doesn't have much time to make it up.
On the final lap, first place looked a certainty, but second was still up for grabs.
Oh, this is on for second place. Have a look at Cottrell. He's on the limit of adhesion. Massini now looks for the switchback coming out of turn 9. He's on the wrong side of the track, though. I don't think he's going to get the job done. Cottrell's driven brilliantly all race. He's got to be careful he doesn't throw it away here on the last couple of corners, Nick.
This is a very tricky part of the track. He needs to probably defend himself into the final corner and get it slowed up. We see him squirming under brakes, front wheel locked, and gets it turned in, and he manages to hold on to second. Good job.
Cottrell's held on to second, but our race 1 winner, Kyle Clues, does it again in race 2. Cottrell for second from Massini and Smith. What a race. Peter Carr, he finished in 10th position, and he'll take pole for the all-important race 3 reverse grid. Tyler Owen, he lost a heap of spots. He finished in 7th, but it was Kyle Clues, our race 1 champion, who did it easy in race 2.
I was planning on a fierce battle, but you know, it didn't turn out that way, and you know, that's just the way it goes.
Reverse top 10 race for the weekend. Grant Ludby on the right of screen in the yellow Falcon. And watch for the likes of James Ward, Paul Kamal, Kyle Clues, guys who've won this championship before. 5 second board, first race of race day extra for the season from the Clipsal 500. Watch the pocket rockets go to work on the streets of Adelaide. Great start from Carr and Ludby towards turn 1. Kyle Clues in the background there, the orange and blue number 1 machine. But it's Peter Carr who sweeps across through this first centre chicane. And the little Yamaha 1.2-litre engines screaming their way to Wakefield Street.
Massively dusty off race line into turn 1. Very bumpy still on the approach up to 4 at Wakefield Street. There's been a little bit of resurfacing in this part of the racetrack.
This is in car with James Ward, former champ. New backing from FW1 this weekend, coming on board with this series. And this is a violent little busy ride. You really have to have your wits about you in this class.
And James has done a lot of it. He knows how to get the most out of them. You just got to drive the cars so hard, keep the momentum up. And you can slipstream. You get a remarkable gain by tucking the car in under the back of the preceding car. You get an extra couple of 100 revs. Cold tyres. That amount of oversteer through turn 8 is about as far as you want to push it. Clues a little bit untidy.
This is classic stuff. 2 and 3 wide. They use all of the track. And then some more. James Ward on the outside. But out in front, Peter Carr, have a look at the lead he's got here. This is so rare for an Aussie racing car race to be this far in front. But this stuff, this is normal.
It took 2 and 3 wide into the final corner. I mean, you could stick your neck out and call who's where, but half a second later it's going to change. So at the moment, just soak it up. Carr leads from Owen. Kamal's already up to 3rd. I mean, it's just shuffling by the nanosecond at the moment.
Kyle Clues down the inside, trying to get 2 of them at the chicane. He gets 1. Carr leads by 1.8 seconds. That's like winning a V8 race by 3. You never get a margin like this.
The guys that are very good in these cars that really maximise...
Around, and we've got some contact there. Simon Smith. He's in a bad place. It's blind. They can't see. They're relying on the yellow flags. And he's going to have to wait for the whole field to go through.
Yeah, what a shame. After being in quite a solid spot there. You've got to be careful just how aggressively you throw the cars around here because of the bumps in the circuit and being, you know, unsettled by leaping off the curbs. So watch for Kamal and Clues as they continue just to march through this group. What I was going to say before the incident at turn 5 is that it's about momentum with these cars, and the really good guys just skid them in on the rear brake. They get just enough attitude on the cars that, speaking of attitude...
Is that the attitude you were talking about?
Maybe a bit too much.
Plenty of contact down at turn 9. Darren Chamberlain manages to get running again. Let's have a look at this contact that saw Simon Smith facing in the wrong direction. He goes around and then gets a nudge on the way through here, which tends to happen when you're facing the wrong direction. Adrian Cottrell making some contact in that brand new Toyota that's not brand new anymore. And this was a case of coming from far too far back.
It's very easily done down there, though, into the hairpin down at turn 9 because there's enormous track width down there, lots of space, and it's very easy to be sucked in, have a dive under somebody, then realise that the right-hander is right at your feet.
So it's Peter Carr, the pole man, who leads the way from Tyler Owen. Paul Kamal 3rd. Kyle Clues, the reigning champ, in 4th. James Ward is next. And these little cars, they really do exacerbate. You see the bumps, the movement. All the guys who've jumped out of a V8 supercar into this, they've had so much fun, but it's completely different to drive. Tom Vachizovic there, car 73. Just outside the top 10, running 11th at the moment. Back to the front, Kyle Clues launching a move on Paul Kamal, who was the inaugural champ in this category back in 01. Trying to go the long way. This is the fight for 3rd and 4th. Carr and Owen have cleared away, though.
And Paul's had some great races in this category over the years, and here he's up the inside, the final corner. Gets it done pretty easily, but nice crisscross move. Clues very neatly did that. Paul just basically shot in there with a couple of extra Ks. Couldn't pull it up in time and hit the apex at the final corner.
Problems back in the field here at Clipsal with the Aussie racing cars.
Darren Massini, and that's awkwardly parked.
It's going well, though, for Peter Carr, but it's not going well.
He's just nudged it up against the tyre barrier there on the exit at turn 9. So here he is again in replay. And looks like he's been given a hand.
Yep, sure has. He's been given a helping hand. There's Shane Harrison involved. And that will end the day for Darren Massini. Peter Carr leads the way, the Aussie Racing Car Super Series on Race Day Extra from the Clipsal 500. And here's the reigning champ. Kyle Clues is the fastest man on the road. He's caught Tyler Rowan and is now challenging for second place. But the bad news is Peter Carr is 4 odd seconds down the road. But this is real hand-to-hand combat stuff. And Neil, for as close as the racing is, though, very rare that there's actual contact.
Well, there's a bit of rubbing here and there, but generally speaking, that they're all very respectful of each other. Oh, Clues with a big lock up into turn 4. He's so far to the right of the road there, and it's so dirty and bumpy offline. Makes it very hard to stop the car. He's in an awesome battle here with Kamal. And if you turn the car in while it's unsettled, with all the weight over the nose, the rear of them just completely disconnects.
When you talk weight, we're talking about 450 kilograms of race car. V8 supercar, as a comparison, is 1,355. They are real pocket rockets.
4.7 seconds that margin that Carr's got at the moment. Great shot from the outside of turn 8. And I haven't had a chance to talk to the boys this weekend because of our V8 supercar obligations, but I'd love to know just how hard they can attack turn 8 in one of these cars.
Well, that was Kamal attacking turn 9, and it didn't work.
Back on board. Turn 11. Little sequential gear shift. Just got to take a little bit of load off the throttle as you pull the next gear. You've got a little bit of oversteer through 13, round the back of the pits. This is very, very tight, this final corner. So we'll stay on board here for a tick. Pit lane complex to the right, the enormous grandstand to the left. It's one of the best motorsport theatres in the world. Blind approach in through 1, 2, 3. Aggressive use of that turn 1 curbing. And this area in Wakefield Street is where there's often passing moves. There's a lot of paint, surface variations, bumpy. The amount of hungry use of the curb on the right. Boys a bit busy. You can see he spends a lot of time ensuring that he tries to keep it up the top of the rev band on this. He's got to keep the momentum up in the car. And you'd even see that there was quite a lot of opposite lock correction on the way into the corner because there's almost a go-kart style approach to driving the cars, a very unique flavour in the way in which you've got to do your job. Now let's have a listen here. I reckon he was flat. If he wasn't, it was very close to it. It wound itself sideways in the middle of it. It's pretty good. It's cool.
Listen how early he's on the throttle again.
Actually picks it up quite early, but again, that's a momentum-based issue. And James down in 6th at the moment.
This is the replay before of Kamal having a big lock-up into turn 9.
Yeah, we saw the aftermath, and I caught a glimpse. And that will have hurt. Now, that's a weird one. So that's Chris Owen. Very awkwardly spin coming onto the pit straight.
Nice parallel park, though. Peter Carr leads the way. The margin's shrinking. There's Kyle Clues just in the background of shot. He's got the margin down to 3.2 seconds. But there's just 1 lap left to go. That's the problem. Tyler Owen 3rd.
Peter's doing a really good job here. That last lap of his was a 35.6. He's only a 10th slower than Clues, who's been on the money in the category now for quite a long period of time.
Here's Cottrell with the damage to that Toyota, but pressing on. He and Tyler Owen in. Pretty good dice here, 3rd and 4th.
I flinch when I see the cars winding sideways on the way into the corner so much.
You only flinch because it's not you driving.
It's wild. So a little over half a lap remaining. That's going to have a pretty significant impact on the behaviour of the front of that car as well. They're just nicely unsettled through 8. So Carr, Clues, Cottrell, Owen, Kamal, Ward, who were on board with before.
Bassini 7%, the fastest lap of the race. Grant Ludby from the front row of the grid has drifted back to 8th, but the man who started from pole has really dominated Peter Carr. Very rare to win an Aussie racing cars race by this sort of distance. Kyle Clues has been closing in, but he won't catch the Toyota. Peter Carr takes a race 3 in the Aussie Racing Car Super Series at the Clipsal 500. Clues in 2nd, Cottrell salvages 3rd, but will need some repairs for the rest of the weekend. Tyler Owen 4th. But as always, the Aussie racing cars are a big part of the Clipsal 500. Big fields, 36 cars took to the grid in this 3rd race of the weekend. But Carr is the man who brings it home, and on this slowdown lap they'll acknowledge the crowd as well for their support. Kamal 5th from James Ward, Bassini, Ludby, Phil Ward and Mark Duckworth round out the top 10